Welcome to the MicroMolar Podcast Biotech Headlines Series. This is your daily rundown on the biggest news in biotech.
Today is Good Friday, April 3rd, 2026. Let's get right into the headlines.
The Trump administration is moving ahead with steep new drug import tariffs while carving out some of biotech's most sensitive product categories. The policy could disrupt supply chains and pricing across pharma.
Biopharma's global development pipeline has now contracted instead of growing. That marks a notable shift for an industry that has expanded its R&D footprint for decades, with financing pressure and portfolio cuts starting to show up.
Rare disease groups are pushing for clearer FDA expectations. The concern is that inconsistent regulatory signals are making it harder for companies to plan development and get therapies to small and high-need patient populations.
A new safety concern is emerging around Amgen's Tavneos after deaths were tied to the drug. Tavneos is a pill to treat severe active anti-neutrophil cytoplasmic autoantibody, ANCA, associated vasculitis, and was developed by ChemoCentryx, which Amgen acquired in 2022.
Pharma deal-making is still running hot and could reach record levels. Large companies are continuing to buy external innovation to strengthen pipelines and prepare for looming patent expirations.
The pace of acquisitions has accelerated dramatically in just the span of a few days. That surge shows how aggressively big pharma is willing to spend when attractive late-stage or strategic assets come to market.
Biogen is making a major acquisition to expand deeper into kidney disease. The Apellis deal signals a broader effort to diversify beyond the company's older core franchises and build around complement biology.
Novartis is committing another large investment into China of $480 million. The move adds to the view that major drug makers still see China as too important to ignore.
Biopharma executives are becoming unusually blunt about regulatory frustration. The tone reflects growing concern that the policy environment is getting harder to predict and harder to operate in.
The FDA has warned Immunity Bio over promotional claims made through a podcast and related media. It is a reminder that regulators are watching newer communication channels just as closely as traditional drug advertising.
The UK has secured a pharma trade arrangement that avoids tariff pressure. That gives companies a bit more stability around cross-border manufacturing and supply planning at a tense trade moment.
Biotech is shutting down part of its pandemic-era mRNA manufacturing footprint. The company is continuing its pivot away from COVID-scale capacity and toward areas like oncology and broader pipeline priorities.
Gilead has ended development of a late-stage, long-acting HIV pill program. After setbacks like serious safety issues and weakened immune systems in patients, the risk was no longer worth carrying.
Otsuka is spending heavily to add a private neuropsychiatry biotech to its pipeline. The deal shows that CNS remains attractive strategically, even though it continues to be one of the hardest areas in drug development.
Lipocine hit another CNS setback while AstraZeneca posted a win in liver cancer. The contrast highlights how oncology continues to generate stronger clinical momentum than many neuroscience programs.
Syneron has pulled in another very large financing round only months after its last one. That kind of back-to-back fundraising points to strong investor conviction in its peptide platform.
Blackstone has raised an enormous new life sciences fund. The size of the vehicle shows that despite recent volatility, institutional capital is still willing to make big bets on biotech.
Ambrosia has raised major funding to pursue an oral GLP-1 program. Investors are still crowding into obesity and metabolic disease, especially around pill-based options that could compete with injectables.
A diabetes cell therapy company just secured substantial backing from the Canadian government. The money supports both the program itself and a broader effort to strengthen domestic advanced biomanufacturing capacity.
Ferring is cutting fertility trials after reassessing its pipeline. It is another example of companies narrowing focus and reallocating resources toward programs with stronger strategic value.
Merck has teamed up with a smaller company to discover new therapeutic antibodies. The partnership gives Merck access to outside platform innovation without requiring a full acquisition.
Boehringer is still actively looking for deals in oncology. Its interest in ADCs and T-cell engagers reinforces how attractive those modalities remain for business development teams.
That's all the time we have for today. Thanks for tuning in to MicroMolar.
Visit us at micromolar.com for more information. Have a great weekend.